Hi everyone, I'm Eugene. I never thought I would show my face on my physics channel, but I wanted to make one video on how to make various patterns on a 7x7x7 Rubik's Cube. So as you can see, each pattern is going to take only a minute or so, and I'm going to go through various patterns. So I'm going to start out with this pattern, which is a pattern I made of windows on each side, 4 squares in each. So as you can see, this is what I have starting out with. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it. It'll only take a moment. Okay, and as you can see, it is solved now. Now I'm going to make a completely different pattern. And the first what I'm going to do is I want to straighten out the cube. For a large cube like this, it's important to have everything perfectly aligned so that you don't accidentally damage it when you start turning it. Okay, so this is a solved cube, and what I'm going to do, okay, so what I have is I have one square inside let me straighten everything out. Okay, so I have a square on each side, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this pattern by making a square inside a square. Okay, let me straighten this out, get all the rows and columns aligned. Okay, so now I have in each side, I have a square inside a square. Okay, now I'm going to take this a step further and make a square inside a square inside a square. Okay, let me straighten make everything's aligned. Okay, and now we have a square inside a square inside a square. Okay, so just to show you all of this. Okay, so now I'm going to slowly start returning it to normal, but I'm not going to go back in the reverse in the same way that I created it. I'm going to make it more interesting than that. So let me line everything up. So now I've created this pattern. Okay, so now I have basically a small square on each side with a little dot in the middle. Okay, now this is almost solved. Let me straighten everything out, except that the center of each face has a different color in the center. And now I'm going to solve it, which will only take a moment because it's almost solved. Okay, let me line everything up. Okay, so as you can see, this is a solid cube. And now I'm going to do a completely different pattern. This will take a moment. This is going to be a full checkerboard pattern on every side. Line everything up. Okay, so what I have now is I have a checkerboard pattern on every side. Full checkerboard. So now I'm gonna return it to the solid state, then I'm gonna do another pattern after I return it to the solid state. Okay, so to return it to the solid state, well, if you ever buy a large cube like this, it's important. You're not supposed to speed turn it, because you can accidentally break the cube permanently. Because it's you have to always make sure everything's perfectly aligned before you start turning it, and it's not intended to do speed turning, because you could accidentally try turning it when everything's not perfectly aligned, and then you'll break the cube. So. Let me align everything. Alright, so now this is a solid cube again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is going to take a look at my video on titled multi-dimensional shadows. I'll post a link on the end screen. And also, this is probably my first and last time where I'll show my face on the video. However, I did give a 1-hour interview to another YouTuber's channel, but it's not about physics or mathematics. I'll put a link to that too.